Alright, it's November the 16th. We were out on the 14th, 2 days ago. That's when we saw that basket rack 8-pointer come up the ridge on the other side of us and make that scrape. We're going back in here today to the top of the ridge, more as a scouting mission. I gotta see exactly what they're doing, because I feel like they're skirting me around that tree stand, but I gotta be right in the middle of them. So we're gonna look for some rubs, scrapes, see what we can find. Just kind of slowly hunt our way around. It rained yesterday all day, probably like 10 hours straight. Just nasty, heavy rain. So it's nice and quiet today. It's the best day to get in here and do some scouting. Cloudy, I'll be able to see good. Won't have to worry about shadows with all the trees, so if there's something out in front of us, we can see it. They won't be able to hear us as easy. Just gotta take advantage of days like this to see what the deer are doing. So that's what we're gonna do. And maybe come back later tonight. That's fresh. All right, I'm up on top of this ridge. I came on back about to the property line from where my tree stand's at, where we've been sitting. And I'm looking at rubs right now, just everywhere. And got a couple on video, but I mean, every 10, 15 yards, there's a good fresh rub. There's some that look older. I took a video of those actually earlier. And there's some that would just look like they were done last night. So I'm wondering, being on top of this ridge, if it's not nighttime movement still. But we should be getting some daylight movement within this week, so I'm thinking about pushing on back here from now on and hunting just based off the sign. But there was rubs 30, 40 yards down from my stand coming this way. It just looks like they're skirting me where I'm sitting, so I am very highly considering coming back in here, but I gotta head back to the house and get a couple things done. So we're gonna come back in here, if not tonight, definitely tomorrow. And maybe just for the purpose of being stealthy, we might just sit on the ground and not worry about getting a stand up back in here. So we'll see, but this is definitely the place to be right now. Well, we came on down here further, about to leave, and there's just rubs everywhere. We got them here, here, at the top of the hill. Just sitting 40 yards from where my tree stand's set up, just right here. You'd think I'd be seeing more deer movement up here. I've seen that buck once across the hill. This is where I'm standing. 2 years ago, I shot a deer right here, and there was a sign like this from that tree. So they're in here. I mean, there's definitely at least one buck. And we're seeing the sign. That's good. That keeps you motivated, keeps you in the game. You know, you go out here and sit all the time and don't see anything. It's really, really just wears you down. But then you get out and scout a little bit and find the sign. Well, you're right here with them. You know, you just got to put the time in and hopefully narrow it down and cross paths with them. But yeah, there's rubs everywhere on this ridge. Just every time I think I've come to the end, there's just another row, 40, 50 yards of just rub, you know, one after the other. So that's a great sign, and we're gonna back out of here. Now that we know what's going on, make a game plan and keep after it. it's December 1st and things just got interesting. You can see earlier in the video, just right before this, I was showing a rub and a new tree I was putting my climber on right below it. There's a ton of sign up there on that ridge. So Dad was asking me on the way over here what he thought, what I thought he should do. And I said, well, we don't have much luck in this field, but I don't care to hunt that field and let you go up there to my climber. I'd rather see you get a nice buck. And I'm not seeing anything, you know, crazy that I'm like dying to shoot. So he tried to argue with me a little bit about it and say he didn't feel good about doing that. And I said, that's what I want, is for you to, you know, get you a good buck. So why don't you go up there where that sign's at? And I came up here to this field, and I was just climbing up in the stand, and he fired twice. I'm actually watching him in the woods with his blaze orange. I can see him a couple hundred yards away right now. So what happened to me the other night is I was going up that ridge, and about halfway up, a pretty decent, good-looking buck ran across. It looked like I had spooked him. So I told Dad, I said, just make sure, you know, you're staying prepared, because he could jump out in front of you. And what do you know? Buck with a doe, 50 yards in the woods right here. I don't know if he's hit him or not. I'm waiting on him to call me back. I can still see him looking for blood, so hopefully he'll come across some. It was a running shot, definitely a tough shot, but he's using a 45-70, definitely a brush gun. And we'll see what happens, but I'll keep you updated. All right, just got the call back. It's been about 3 minutes. He dropped him in his tracks, so I'm gonna head up here and get some video of him for you. And I couldn't be happier. He said it's an 8 or a 9 pointer. He said it's got a funky looking rack, but I've been trying to get him a nice buck for a long time now, and this is awesome. You know, it's perfect. So he's got himself a couple, you know, smaller bucks. He got one with the bow the other year, a couple years ago, that was like a 5 pointer maybe. Just a really weird looking rack. So yeah, I'm just so happy for him. He's put in the time and been hunting since the 80s, and this is really the first time that he's had a decent buck. So really cool. So finally happened, 2022. I'll be with you in just a minute once I get up here in the woods and check him out.
I think it just dropped in this door. I think that's where you're standing.
Look at that.
I said there was a bunch of rough stuff, kinda. That's really rough through there, man. I actually think you were standing right here.
That's a wild looking.
Took one leap, and it looks like he hit this tree, maybe. I don't know what he did. I guess he just kicked right there, didn't he? So if he took one leap, it was when he was going into the second gear.
That was one crazy looking deer.
How many points do you think that is?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Probably 8. That one right there. I mean, I guess you could count it.
Come on,
I'll give you 9. Look at that barrel tine right there.
He's crazy.
Well, hold him up there. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Dragging him out. Doing Dad a little favor. All right, well, I came back out here. That doe's obviously hot, and deer are on their feet, so Dad's down there getting it gutted out right now. I said I'll be hunting, so I'm just watching over this big ridge. Pretty good little spot. We're about 50 yards up from where he shot his. I know the odds of this happening are not good, but I figured while we were out here and he's busy and he told me to go, might as well go. So I just don't want to walk all the way up to my stand and sit there for a few minutes since it's such a long walk. So we're gonna sit here, but this will probably be the end of the video unless something crazy happens. But yeah, just so happy for him. He gave me a huge hug and was almost in tears when we were walking back out. So that's what it's all about. It's not about how big they are. It's about getting out here with people, family, friends, seeing that joy when it finally comes together. And he has paid the price. He has waited on that buck for years. And, you know, just a great day. So happy hunting, everybody.